This is, as I just started saying to the sheriff, this is going to be DEFCON 1 on, you know, the left and the tears and the emotion, and they're going to, how could you separate families and all this other stuff? By the way, we separate families every day with the Department of Social Services, with law enforcement. I mean, the list goes on. So, I mean, that's not even an argument. But you can imagine what it's going to be like starting in January, February, and March when all the TV networks and everything is going to portray this as, Nazis.
That's exactly what they're going to do. But I'm going to remind anyone who thinks that way to save their tears for the Laken Rileys of the world. That's who I'm going to save my tears for. Like you mentioned earlier, about approximately 15 million illegal immigrants have been let into this country with no vetting, unvetted. And people say, oh, it's a small amount. Let's just say it's 1%. That's 150,000 additional criminals in the United States. Possible criminals in the United States. And each one of those people, in my opinion, represents an American citizen that could possibly be victimized. So I'm going to save my tears for those possible victims. And make no mistake that the children are innocent victims, but not at the hands of American citizens, not at the hands of ICE, at the hands of their own parents. Let's put the responsibility where it lies. It lies in the hands of the parents who brought their kids here illegally. And I'm not saying that we can't have empathy, but we can't have empathy above what we have for the safety and security of our own citizens.
I think a lot has changed in 4 to 8 years. Remember when Donald Trump first got in, it was the Muslim ban, and that's how it was labeled when it was not. But I think they've also learned a lot about how to put this forward to the American people, how to write the regulation or the law, and the lawsuits that will follow. But also the American public's opinion has changed now. They've seen the destruction of what an open border actually is.
And to your point, I think that at first people were kind of like feeding into the emotion AOC at the border weeping, but didn't understand what it looked like in real time when, a significant portion of your child's classroom has kids in it who don't speak English and how that affects their education, the crime. And a lot of it is because these people are not vetted. They come from different countries all over the world that have a different culture, and many of them have no interest in assimilating, and it's problematic, even just from a logistics standpoint and from a financial standpoint, the toll that it takes on the finances of the American people. It's not that anyone who wants to tap down illegal immigration is mean. It's just that you have to have concerns for your citizens. That's what our government's responsibility is, not for a small amount of citizens, but for all of its citizens.
Yep. Melanie will be with us, so stick around.